Are we back up yet? Oh, this is so infuriating. Okay, welcome back. I had 11 likes. And now I must rein in my temper. Relaunching the trailer again. This is the third time I'm going to have to register the plates. Technical difficulties. Nexus Hunter is marked down as competing for this game. If anyone else you know, you'd be surprised how little space 58th Bazongas actually take up.
A statistically relevant observation, Director.
And they're a good sport about it. We're up to 6 likes again. Please do get up to 13. I could use a success at this point. And thank you all to everyone who informed me of the technical difficulties happening again. Oh, that makes me angry. Bernie B is in the raffle, and so is Nexus. And not Nexus marked down K-Shoal, pardon. Next up, SCP 1174. If time persists, if it should be sufficiently short, I will try to fit in, even going a slight overtime for 1903. Furious. Furious! And you listen. Wait. That sounds like something Deadpool would say, and that's weirdly cheering. SCP-1174, Object Class Euclid. Briefly checking to make sure this is something I've done before. It's a low enough number, it warrants checking. I do think, if it is, it's been long enough for me to forget it. So, I'm so glad everyone's back after this complication. And thank you again to everyone who informed me that it happened, because I received no notices! Sympathy, Zach Osborne. Item SCP-1174, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The Foundation is to liaise with the National Weather Service during SCP-11741's activities in each year to monitor the development of meteorological phenomena which may contribute to onset SCP-11741 events. Whenever weather conditions favorable to SCP-11741 exist, Foundation personnel embedded within the United States Coast Guard and Canadian Coast Guard are to assist in monitoring radio communication from civilian vessels in the active region for any reports of SCP-11741 sightings. Civilians spotting SCP-11741 are to be instructed not to attempt to approach, communicate with, or render assistance to any instance of SCP-11741. The existence of SCP 11741-3 is attested to in ghost stories circulated by the general public. Foundation media assets are to limit public dissemination of sightings of SCP-11741 instances subsequent to civilian sightings of any SCP-11741 instance. The Foundation is to intercept the vessel making the sighting upon its docking, debrief its crew, and issue Class A amnestics. Thank you, Snoopy100. I would like to accept that, but it's duplicates. It doesn't count. Look, I will, as I almost never do, like my own live stream on YouTube so as to help make up the difference. There we go. See? Progress. Another 5. And would be a success at that point. To resume reading, at 05 discretion, Foundation vessels, or US/Canadian Coast Guard vessels operated by a Foundation crew may approach and follow instances of SCP-11741 for observation purposes. No vessel is to approach within 100 meters of any instance of SCP-11741. Following any shipwreck under conditions resembling an SCP-11741 incident, the Foundation is to locate the wreckage as soon as possible and retrieve any instances of SCP-11742 found in the vicinity for containment or termination as necessary. All available information about the wrecked vessel is to be catalogued for use in identifying potential new instances of SCP-11741. The Foundation is to monitor emergency calls and social networking for any indications of civilian encounters with SCP-11742. Any persons reporting an SCP-11742 sighting retracted. No, 9 likes. Well, we're just 4 away now. Yay. Pardon. I will henceforth probably occasionally sound rather angry when I say something in response to anyone. If that should be detected, I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at it. Technical difficulty. The Foundation is to monitor emergency calls and social networking indications of civilian encounters with SCP-11742. Any person reporting an SCP-11742 sighting is to be detained, debriefed, and treated with Class B amnestics. Any dead SCP-11742 instances found afloat or washing ashore are to be acquired by the Foundation and destroyed as soon as possible. Authorization is granted to employ Emergency Procedure 248 October Bravo in the case of an information leak regarding SCP-11742. Captured instances of SCP-11742 are to be housed in modified containment cells filled halfway with fresh water at a temperature of 2 degrees centigrade and fed standard containing rations twice per day. Instances of SCP-11742 capable of communication may be granted euthanasia at the request following a full debriefing. I'm not going to launch murder.exe. I'm just thinking about it. But that would be reckless. Description. SCP-1174 is a localized phenomenon occurring within Lake Superior along excuse me, the border between the United States and Canada, consisting of visual hallucinations of ships appearing during periods of inclement weather, designated SCP-11741, and an unknown number of anomalous human beings associated with the ship's sinking after encountering SCP-11741, designated SCP-11742. Instances of SCP-11741 are capable of manifesting between October 1st and November 30th of each year. Most manifestations of SCP-11741 have occurred during quote-unquote November witch cyclone conditions, producing rain or snow and wind in excess of 95 km per hour. However, SCP-11741 can manifest at any time during the active season when cloud cover and high winds are present. Instances of SCP-11741 are capable of movement rates at rates commensurate with that of ship it resembles, and it will appear and travel in no discernible heading along Lake Superior until such time as weather conditions improve, whereupon SCP-11741 will vanish. In no case has any instance of SCP-11741 appeared in or traveled to any area less than approximately 5 kilometers from the American or Canadian mainland. There are currently 7 known instances of SCP-11741. 5 of the 7 have been conclusively identified as resembling vessels known to have sunk in Lake Superior during SCP-11741's active season. Greetings in chat to TV2Me, and Merry Christmas to you, and all you as well. The 19th experiment special would probably be better, and enchiladas sound delicious, as a tangent. Was it 17 likes? That's because you're combining them though. I'm conflicted. Look, compromise. If we get up to 11 likes, here, I'll count that as sufficiently compensating for duplicates. I do hate these complications. Right. SCP-11741, a fully rigged wooden warship of late 18th century construction, approximately 45 meters in length, flying the naval ensign of the United Kingdom, identity unknown. SCP-11741-2, a wooden schooner of mid-19th century construction, approximately 60 meters in length, identified as Lucerne, an ore carrier sunk in 1886. SCP-11741-3, a wooden steamship of the late 19th century construction, approximately 75 meters in length, identified as the Bannockburn, a freighter sunk in 1902. SCP-11741-4, a steel-hulled steam-powered warship of early 20th century construction, approximately 40 meters in length, identified as the Cerasols, a French Navy minesweeper lost under unknown circumstances in 1918. SCP-11741-5, a steel-hulled steamship of early 20th century construction, approximately 75 meters in length, identity unknown. SCP-11741-6, a steel-hulled oil-burning cargo ship of mid-20th century construction, approximately 220 meters in length, identified as the Edmund Fitzgerald, a freighter sunk in 1975. SCP-11741-7, a steel-hulled diesel-engine petrol boat of early 21st century construction, approximately 27 meters in length, identified as SCPS Irvine, a Foundation vessel sunk while investigating SCP-11741-6 in 2007. You know what? We'll call it 10, and I'll launch confetti and take it in good faith. Terrible craving for enchiladas now. I'm not angry, Keishal, but powerful craving. And I have no enchiladas. Testing has indicated that all instances of SCP-11741 are visual hallucinations and do not exist as corporeal entities. SCP-11741 vessels do not appear on radar or infrared imaging, and attempts to fire upon them have resulted in armament passing through the vessel without causing damage. Upon coming into visual range of any vessel traveling through Lake Superior, SCP-11741 will attempt to establish communication by means appropriate to the period and capabilities of the vessel appearing, including use of flags, signal lights, Morse code, firing of flares, and radio. In all cases where contact is made, SCP-11741 will claim to be in immediate danger of sinking and request that the vessel approach immediately to assist in evacuating its crew. In radio communication, the voice transmitted from SCP-11741 is always an adult male who identifies himself as a senior officer of the vessel requiring aid. Conclusive identification of the speaker with individuals known to have been aboard the vessels at the time of sinking has not been made to date. Telling. Any vessels approaching within approximately 75 meters of an SCP-11741 vessel will suffer immediate and massive damage to the hull, resulting in the vessel sinking within minutes of approach. Forensic analysis of recovered wrecks is inconsistent, indicating damage consistent with collisions, weapons fire, attacks from aquatic megafauna, and rust. In one instance, a vessel approaching SCP-11741 1-2 appears to have spontaneously capsized without suffering any other damage to its hull. SCP-117416 and SCP-117417 are known to have sunk as a result of SCP-11741 contact. It is unknown whether the other instances of SCP-11741 sunk due to contact as well, or what form SCP-11741 phenomenon may have taken prior to the appearance of SCP-117411. SCP-11742 are human beings present aboard vessels sunk as a result of contact with SCP-11741. SCP-11742 individuals, rather than dying as a result of drowning or hypothermia, remain alive and conscious after submerging and are capable of continuing to live for an undetermined period of time in the lower elevations of Lake Superior. Aside from tissue necrosis as the result of long-term exposure to water, SCP-11742 specimens display no unusual health problems as long as they remain submerged at a temperature of 1 to -5 degrees Celsius and continue to show signs of age at a normal rate. SCP-11742 individuals removed from the water or placed into a warmer environment will display symptoms of shock and/or heat stroke and typically die within 1 hour, if not returned to cold water. SCP-11742 individuals in the wild often subsist on fish and aquatic flora, while some have been noted to attack divers or each other. This behavior appears to be rare and discouraged by the community. SCP-11742 individuals typically live in communities at or near the site of their shipwreck and continue to possess full recollection of their lives prior to sinking. Most SCP-11742 individuals, unless suffering vocal cord damage as a result of their environment, retain the ability to speak and are capable of understanding each other while submerged. In interviews, captured 11742 specimens have denied any explanation or knowledge of why or how they exist in their current state. There does not appear to be any upper limit on the length of time an SCP-11742 individual can remain alive in the absence of disease or natural hazards. The oldest known individual in captivity is a former crewman of the vessel DNC, currently 87 years of age, who became an instance of SCP-11742 upon that vessel sinking in 1957. The Foundation began formal study and containment of SCP-1174 in 1975 after investigating several claimed sightings of the Edmund Fitzgerald following its sinking in early November. Several former crew members of the vessel were discovered living in its wreck upon the first formal exploration thereof in May of the following year and were taken to Foundation custody. Foundation folklorists have since connected quote-unquote ghost ship legends regarding the Bannockburn to sightings SCP-117413 and found references in Ojibwa folklore to the quote-unquote Witch of Gitchagumi, which lures fishermen to their doom. Casual, forgive me. I will start with 1903, next live stream. I started with 1573 this time, so you can count on it. Almost certainly. And the almost is only stated because I have no delusions of infallibility. As for SCP-1174, this is a fascinating case. I'm inclined to, in this case, say a witch did it, as opposed to a asshole wizard. Although, arguably, the only difference is the ostensible sex of the reality bender / magic caster. Although, excuse me, have we truly the Witch of Kichikubi? Excuse me. Why would the person contacting new victims be a male pretending to be a officer? You know what? I'm just going to call this stream a success despite technical difficulties. I can believe I was robbed of up to 4 likes. Thank you for keeping track. Snoopy 100. Thank you again to everyone who let me know the stream went down. My avatar cannot properly express my rage. But I'm glad I'm using it. I'm supposed to be on camera. I have to say, the way the Foundation is handling this particular SCP, I approve of. They're trying to keep the anomaly from claiming more lives. Excellent. They're also not necessarily purging all the instances of SCP-11742, because it seems that the victims can persist. They remind me of victims of the Sunken King in Fallen London. Pitiable. The living indefinitely while basically being rotted away by water, that has to absolutely suck. But if they can make it clear to Foundation custody that they would really like to die, the Foundation's there for them. I think they're handling this one well overall. It's time for a raffle. One quick check. Does anyone else want Pharaoh, A New Era? Present competitors are Nexus, Bernie, and K. Shull in that order. Idea is across, I think. Did anyone else want to enter? I should take that as a no. This will, as always, be handled on random.org, which will be determined by cosmic background radiation used to determine random numbers. For Nexus Hunter, we've got an inauspicious 15. But weird things have happened. Next up, for Bernie, 88, which is quite auspicious, but guarantees nothing. And for K. Shull, we've got 45. Bernie B, assuming you're still there and weren't thrown off by the arbitrary shutdown that I had nothing to do with, congratulations! You have won. Are you saying ouch? You just won. Weird. Since I know I can contact you with a direct message on Discord, I will have the key to you as soon as I've shut down here. Meanwhile, Casual, the next SCP review will start with 1903. Thank you, as always, for your requests. Yeah, that Nexus Hunter has won a lot of games, so you don't need to really feel bad. K-Show and Nexus Hunter are the most reliable entrants to the raffles, and I'm very grateful for them. That said, I don't think any of them will feel bad if they didn't win a game. Much like I shouldn't feel bad for having won No More Heroes 3. But I do. Weirdly. I wouldn't legitimately know. The record's there. And everyone agreed. So the only person who's having an issue with it is me. Which is dumb. Moving on. In further news, this upcoming Tuesday, as I understand it, is the Wicked Guild's finale. There will be an out of character after it, I believe. But I don't think there's going to be more to it until sometime next year. There have been complications. In short, you'll learn all in time. It will be revealed. The 19th is going to be a very special experiment, going for 4 hours, which I think I've only done once before, and it wasn't really a good idea even then. But this is a very special one. It's going to be the Christmas special. If you want to wear, everyone who shows up is welcome to request Christmas songs. And I have a weird craving for the traditional this time, which is bizarre. Years past, I've leaned more towards a very scary solstice tracks. And of course, I still love all things comedy on this point. But yes, everyone can request, with no expected consideration, any Christmas song. I'll try to cycle through who requests what, but if there is no request pending, then people who have requested things are welcome to request more. Only Christmas songs, though. And I have a very, 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 very generous interpretation of that. Niska is owed a song, so they can request something that anything whatsoever. Otherwise, that's the theme. Aside of that, I don't suppose I have much more to mention. If anyone here is not part of the Archer Labs Volunteer Reserve Discord server, you probably should be. The schedule says what days I'm going to be somewhere, and I always post to general where I am. Okay, I think we're done here. 58, we're done here.
Acknowledged, Director.
58, outro. 58, do the outro. We're done here. 58, please do the outro. We are done here. "58, the live stream is over. Please do the outro."
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable.
Thank you, 58.
You are most welcome, Director.
You are really stretching me, aren't you?